We are live. What is
Live.
up, my man? Cheers,
Good.
salute to you, man.
Yeah, salute. Even though I'm drinking coffee and not spirit.
Oh man, well, dude, hey, bro. Thank you for coming on the show again, and it's tight to do a video this time. I told you you were going to be my first
Yeah.
video.
I remember, bro. Shout out to you. Respect.
Yeah, man. So, fuck, dude. I mean, I know last time you were on the show, we went down a wild rabbit hole.
really quickly too.
Yeah, it happened fast.
Yeah.
But one thing, dude, one thing we didn't even touch on, and I was hoping that's another reason why I wanted to get you back. One thing we didn't really touch on, dude, was your website, bro. Like, you
Yeah.
just recently released something, right?
Yeah. I just recently dropped a website called Catalyst Creator. And basically it's a couple of things. So we touched on Krump and I guess what it allows us to do, what sort of field or being within ourselves it allows us to connect to, right? So basically Catalyst Creator is creating and facilitating a space where dancers and non-dancers can get more in touch with themselves as I said this before, I don't necessarily like using the term spiritual because it's such a broad term, just like God is, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways of seeing it, but I'm gonna just say connect to their spirit more, not necessarily like how can I say, like let's use religious terms like the Holy Spirit, but their spirit.
Okay. So I feel like kind of in a sense because because we are all unique, and that's where because I was like catalyst, I was like why catalyst? So it's like so you're using that word catalyst like you are the catalyst to whatever
Exactly.
they're trying to do. Okay.
Yeah,
I vibe with that.
because we gotta realize that we are creators, bro. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Like we are creators in that we're an aspect of what God or what the universe is. And through that, and through the universe or through God living through us, we get that divinity, and I just want to speak on like the breakdown of what catalyst is and why I use K and EL instead of AL. Is so catalyst you normally spell CATALYST, but I spell it KATELYST. So reason being because I'm Krump, gotta have the K in there, you know what I'm saying? Gotta have like that. And then the EL is because it resembles electrical, because we are electrical. We're electrical beings. We're frequency. If we weren't, then, and I mean, this whole universe is a frequency on a frequency, right? Different frequencies and shit. And being more electrical allows us to connect more to that, to ourselves, and being more open to the frequency of life and your being, good and bad, allows you to heal more. So yeah, man, I take Krump down more of a holistic and more of an intentional healing approach, as well as helping you to expand your freestyle. Whether you're a Krumper or not, it doesn't matter. Krump mindset's totally different to every mindset when it comes to freestyling, bro. Like, I think that's, we can obviously learn from hella styles and vice versa, but there's something extremely unique about Krump, how we use our emotion, and what we allow ourselves to dig deep into, you know, and that's hella powerful. So I want to be able to give that out to people. And yeah, there's blogs on there. I'm doing like slowly building up like a really in-depth course of what we're talking about right now. So basically breaking down the whole damn body and connecting a, I guess, life tip to allow you to really connect with that part of your body and that part of self. You know, the shadow self and the light self, because you need to have both. You need to understand both, and you need to allow balance and stay in a point of center to allow yourself to just observe what the fuck's going on this, on like the, how can I say, like the extremes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
like
what
it makes me. It makes me think. It makes me think of the idea of, like, you know, it makes me think of when you say a thing like understand like your shadow self,
Yeah.
and then understand, you know, that light self. Like, it even reminds me kind of like, you know, because with like smoking section, you know, most of the season I've been wanting to talk to people who deal with, you know, spiritual wellness or this, you know, mental health, emotional health, social health. Like, I've been really, and that's another reason, you know, I had to fuck with you.
Yeah.
I had to fuck with you on this, but
Yeah, for sure.
it makes me think like, okay, like, you got to kind of know what's playing around over there in the shadows, or you're not going to know how far certain thoughts might take you. You know what I mean? Like, if
Exactly,
you
bro.
know, like, you know, and so, so for you,
Yeah.
understanding the shot. So what's one way that you think that people can kind of start to understand that side of them? You know, they might say like their reptilian brain, or they
Mm-hmm.
might say, you know, the sinful brain or whatever. But to me, it's just like the bad. I just leave it at that. It's the bad side of you. You know what I mean? Like, I just leave it at that. It's the bad
It,
side. Okay,
it,
we can all agree.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, totally, bro. And like, I guess just to put it in for label's sake, it would literally be the ego. That's
mm,
what I think it is. Because, you know, having, you know, we always say, oh, this person's so egotistical, or this person's so arrogant, which is ego.
mm,
This person's so depressed, which is ego. You know what I'm saying? They're all, it's your pattern is feeding your ego, which is technically
yeah.
your shadow, right? And not saying like I love, and this is the thing that people get tripped out on, because people think that they can let their ego go. You can, right? But you also need to know, and you need to know how to love it at the same time,
Mm,
because it's what teaches you, bro. Because your spirit knows everything. It knows what you want. It knows what you appreciate, what you value. It knows that you're connected to everything. But your ego, your third dimensional self, your human, your avatar, let's say, is attached to outside things. Your ego perceives your outside things and says, I'm not enough.
mm, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And bro,
Okay.
like I had a massive ego death about a month ago. And that was because my girl made me realize that I was carrying on this massive pattern. Like how can I say? I backtracked it all the way to the traumatic experience of at 14 years old, when my parents decided to actually split
Mm,
up. Yeah. And shit went hella rocky.
yeah.
I myself didn't know. what the fuck to do. And I know that you're fairly similar in that way. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like my foundation is just gone. Everything that I knew, everything that I thought was right, just boom, gone. And from that point on, even though it wasn't necessarily me that made it happen, which is a whole nother topic, cause and effect sort of thing. But even though I didn't make it happen, it affected me in a traumatic way.
Mm-hmm.
So being that young, not having guidance, and my parents not knowing how to deal with their traumas and their, I guess, shadow selves, didn't know how to guide me through that shit. So I went through Krump. That helped a shitload, obviously. But I also met people that were going through the same thing. And then we started taking drugs and taking hella acid and shit. And we sort of spoke about that last time, I think. But obviously don't regret any of it, because it's brought me to the point where I feel like I'm just wholeheartedly myself. And I've completely let go of any, it comes every now and then, but you know, like that ego that surfaces, or that thought that surfaces and goes, fuck, I'm jealous of that person, or fuck, I wish I had more, or damn, I'm not enough, or I'm not, I don't know my value, comes up to remind me to go back inside myself, go back into my heart and be like, man, I am God, you know, I am a fucking creator. So who is everyone outside of myself to tell me that I'm not who I want to be in this life? Do you know what I'm saying? And
yeah, I feel like the ego at times can be that fence for where it's not a fence as far as trying to keep things out, but keep me in. Like, let me stay in here. Let me just stay right here, because I start getting connected to these things, and then that connection makes me feel certain ways. Like you said it, like you just feel like you're not enough, and that's a part, like being attached to your ego that way, man. It's really crazy. But and it's funny, like, you know, you even bring it up, but it's like, dude, I tell everybody, bro, you want to have your ego destroyed, like just demolished? Take a fucking eighth of shrooms and go sit under the stars,
yeah.
and tell me where you sit at in the universe. Like, you know what I mean?
Bro, that is so fucking word, bro. And you know what? People are scared of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's because
they don't want to look at themselves without the makeup.
Yep, boom. Because and think about it this way, like it's funny that you bring up shrooms. I've actually been like, it's crazy how the universe works. So, you know, going back to the whole creator thing, manifestation's obviously a real thing. And throughout being in Melbourne, maybe like 3 months ago, I was like, man, I wish like I could have shrooms. I don't look for them, right? But they came to me at the right time for free. And I didn't take like a whole dose, but I've been microdosing them, and it's been really, really nice. And bro, just even taking a microdose of that shit is just fire, man. I feel so, there is no ego, because it's like, I am just spirit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what I mean? I'm just cruising type shit. Like, I'm so, it just shows you that everything, like, it breaks your whole mode of ego, bro. Everything you thought that was real, every story, and this is what the ego likes to do, every story that you tell yourself is your ego. Good, bad, whatever. It's your ego. Spirit is love, and love appreciates everything. So that's why, like, I guess in the well-being sector and like industry, it's such a massive thing to meditate and how can I say, shit like do yoga and, you know, all of that holistic type of stuff. And I think that's what dance does, but people don't appreciate dance in that way. They say, yeah, like it allows me to escape. Okay, dope. Drugs allow me to escape. You know, even food allows me to escape in a way, but it's like, there's so like meditation doesn't allow you to escape. It brings you back to yourself. Yeah. So Catalyst Creator, same thing. I'm showing you that Krump brings you back to yourself rather than I'm tight, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna bring you back to yourself through mindful practices, connecting that with Krump and connecting to your body, mind, and spirit, because you need all three, because that's the Holy Trinity.
Man. You know? Yeah, no, that's a part. So this is stuff too, though, that you're going to be like talking about and covering with Catalyst Creator, right?
Yeah. So like if people follow me on IG, mainly is where I put all of these like conversations and stuff. Yeah, you'll see what I'm about, bro. And you'll see what, I guess, the type of life that I believe that everyone should be living in their own individual way and on their own journey, you know? And it's so important to, and I believe that people do search, but I think that people get, how can I say? They get attracted by false light. They attracted, you know, like imagine you're a rabbit and you look at light and you're like, yo, that's the false light. But the real light's over there. You know what I'm saying? It's like that way. But yeah, man, like, and it's, I don't know why people, like, I mean, it is what it is. It's evolution, right? But I don't know why people haven't brought dance to people in that way. It's crazy. I don't know if you know, but so there's this thing that's actually called conscious dancing. And basically what it is, it's not, I guess you can say it's freestyle dancing, but there's no like foundation to it. It's just literally moving, allowing yourself to move and connect to your emotion and stuff like that, and allow yourself to heal through conscious dancing. And yeah, there's just no movement to it. So in my head, I was like, damn, like, you know, we're so intentional when it comes to what we want to say in Krump and how we're doing it, but not necessarily how we feel and why we feel that way inside of Krump, which also translates to outside of Krump. Why do I feel that way? Why am I triggered by these things? It goes back to the whole shadow thing. You need to know what triggers you, man. Or lady, whoever's watching, you need to know what triggers you. Because that allows you to realize, oh, it's just my ego talking. There's something that I obviously need to look at and heal within myself and deal with, or be okay with the way that I'm reacting and know that that's just me. And not hate on that other person or not blame that person, and still be able to show love to that person because that's just the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, like love is everything. You know, it encompasses everything. And a lot of people because of mainstream media, which is crumbling anyway, they basically give you a box and then you jump in that box and don't see anything outside that box. You know what I'm saying? They paint a picture for you of how life should be. And for example, with religion, that sin is a bad thing. When to me, sin is just a frequency, sine wave. They spell it S-I-N, wave.
I can fuck with that. Yeah, that's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So
Yeah.
it's the idea, because we're not born with sin. Look at a baby; it's innocent as hell, innocent as anything. Purity, bliss, joy. You know what I'm saying? We're not born with sin. We
fall
think
into
we're
it.
born with sin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
yes, we are born with, how can I say? We create flaws within ourselves and see with a perspective of seeing ourselves less than connected to the universe, to God, whichever term you want to, or label you want to put the Almighty as. And I gotta say this as well. I don't like the fact that people say he is God.
Yeah.
I can't stand that, bro. That's something that triggers me, but I also know that it's okay, you know, because that's what it is, right? But it has no gender. It's just energy. If anything, the woman is closer to God than any male. Because they give birth into...
Because they give birth.
Yep. But in saying that too, we can be so connected to God even through sex. That's why sex is sacred as hell. But they've shown you through, like, I guess, pornography and like all that type of shit.
Oh yeah.
That it's such a dominant thing. It's not sacred anymore. It's just like, I want to thrash. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
And that's just like, you know, you can have that, but have it with your love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to. You have to have balance.
Yeah. There's been nothing. I've been trying to kind of think hard here too. There's been nothing more powerful than witnessing childbirth. Like, I was like, yo.
You've actually experienced that, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, from the moment the water broke, you know,
Damn.
she had me go to work. She's like, no, she's like, I think it's still going to be a while. But then it started happening. And, you know, I left work, got to the hospital, and never left the room. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was probably the most, you know, the most eye-opening. And, you know, even thinking, like you were saying, like, I even catch myself being like, oh, you know, when I speak of God, I'd be like, oh, he or him, you know what I mean? But then at the same time, like, I also remind myself, and it's a cool way to remind myself to kind of like ground myself, to be like, oh, well, he's also here. Like, see, he's also a female.
Yeah.
also a girl. Also this, you know, this beautiful sight that I'm witnessing right now, that I'm so ever so observant of right now, like this beautiful landscape. Like, this is also God right here. Like when it's raining, like that, all that water coming out the sky right there, like that's God right there too. Like, it's all
everything.
It's ever present. Yeah, it's ever present. It's ever present.
Yeah, man. And, you know, speaking on that again is like, I think the easiest way to explain it is the isness or the ism. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one. Yeah.
It's the isness, bro. Because God just is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, damn, you brought up something really tight that I wanted to speak on, but I can't remember what it was. Mustn't have been important.
That's what I say too whenever I can't remember. It's like, well, it wasn't important enough. So with so dude, because it's so like it's so profound to have the thought mixed in my head of just consistently of like, you know, I'm a creator. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I literally manifest creations out of my head, like dance steps and clothing ideas and, you
Yep.
know, even the preparation of food, like, you know what I mean, is a creation
Yep.
in itself, you know. And so what what do you want to see come out? Because is it like so it's a program pretty much, right? Is that
Yeah,
you're having people do?
I'm thinking about whether it's going to be an 8-week course or a 10-week. I'm not sure yet, but
Okay.
it'll be pretty like intense. I think it'll be 10-week because I want to be able to give people time to actually do the exercises that I want to speak on, and, you know, make time for themselves and for me, so that the experience for them doesn't feel like rushed, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so what would you say is going to be the so let's say I'm somebody who I've never experienced creativity really, but I like the idea of it and I like what you're saying as far as spirituality. What is your goal for them coming out? Like they enter in your program, they're exiting. What's at least a hope that you would have for a student like that?
So reality A, or point A, would be someone that's interested in it and doesn't necessarily have a sense of self. Even if they did have a sense of self, I would go, I guess, point B, which is end goal, would be to have more understanding of themselves, and also, I guess, how the universe works within themselves.
Mm, mm,
And
I
obviously,
like
you
that.
know, like like dance is just a tool. You know what I'm saying? That's like the cherry on top. You want to be a tight dancer, I can teach you. But you want to have complete self-love and live from a place of no ego. I'll help you bake that cake. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be the best cake you've ever had.
Mm.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's for sure it. And even if that person does have a sense of self, it would probably be, I like tailor making, and I guess, like, yes, I have my course, but I want to be able to connect with you one on one as well, which what for sure I would do. So there's like the guideline of the course, and then one on one coaching. So that's when, and we've done this with my students before, is like, what do you want out of dance? What do you want out of, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when people come into the course, it'll be like, what do you actually want out of this course? Do you want to, and I'll have like a couple examples for something like that, and allow them free space, because everyone wants something different. If it is dance, I'll give you dance. I'm the tightest in Australia. What more you want, type thing. You know what I mean? And then, so I know, so I know my body in that way. I know it very well. And I know myself very well. Creativity, spiritually, all of that. I can give people a sense of that just by holding space within my energy to do that. You know what I mean? Like, bro, if me and you lab together, fire. I can guarantee you that, like, yeah, you've been labbing for a hella long time, but I can guarantee you that just perspective will make you dance and feel yourself more.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt about that. And that's what I'll give people.
I think there is really something in that, dude. Like, I have been in groups of people where it's like, I didn't even dance tonight, but everybody was so tight right now. And when I got home, I danced different. Like, I just
Yeah.
feel different right now. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's really something in that. There's like a, like a petri dish type fucking something going on there. I don't know.
That to me, that's the power that needs to be tapped into more. To me, that's like spirit, basically. That's vulnerability. That's strength. You know what I'm saying? Because when is someone really tight? Beside, like, if you take away the technical aspect, when is someone really tight? Or when do you, not even tight, when do you feel someone the most?
Just when they're feeling it.
For me, it's basically them being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Them being so within themselves and okay with who they are and what they're doing. That's fucking power, bro.
Yeah.
That is live to me. Thinking about it right now is live to me.
Yeah, just even thinking, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, man. Cause like, and you know, that's the state that every krump dancer wants to be in all the time. And we want to try and get there, so we do tight shit. But just imagine if you could do simple shit, know yourself, sit within yourself, and be there already, and then get live and raise the roof even more by just appreciating wholeheartedly your being, not on a technical standpoint. And I think that's why, like, what Big Homie's doing, you can see it in the people that he's training, because his training's fire. He drops life gems in there, allows people to be vulnerable, allows people to step more into themselves, as well as have the technique.
Yeah, there's a certain, that's something that me and one of my buddies were talking about not too long ago, because he bought the bounce videos and was like, and if everybody watching, if you need some krump training, hit up Sherwin Salonga, aka Baby Tight Eyes, for his bounce videos. Got the fucking krump world going crazy. Love you, Big. Love you. Gonna plug you in right there. But fuck, what was it? Oh, so we were just talking, and it's like, you know, there's a vulnerability that he creates.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? There's a certain, it's a classroom experience, but different, where it's like, you know, that vulnerability just makes it so much easier to learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was really thankful for like Dread. You know what I mean? He showed me the rough and rugged, like be at 818 to just get killed off until you don't get killed off, and maybe win a battle or two. Like, you know what I mean? And then Sherwin was like, definitely, when I started coming around the camp, it was, you know, during the labs and stuff. So it was like I got to be a student of dance again. Like, you know, I hadn't really experienced that in a while. So that was, there's something in that, especially like, because I can only imagine what these, so with your classes, you know, so if you were going to do a program, would it be something like you guys are meeting up, you know, through Zoom, or are you going to do something like that? Okay.
Yeah, it'll be through Zoom, and I'll also have I'll have pre-recorded stuff, so similar to the bounce video, but yeah, just in my own tailored way, pretty much. And it'll be, bro, I want to even get into like giving them guided meditations, because I've guided people into meditation, and it's just allowed them to sit in themselves and come out of it feeling lighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of people do not understand the power of taking just 5 to 10 minutes and just sitting inside yourself for a little bit. Just
it's so
no
powerful.
Nothing. Yeah, like let the thoughts just run, and you pull back and just chill for a second.
You're just the observer, man. You pull, it's like your astral self. We were talking about it. Your astral self goes bam and is looking. And, you know, obviously that awareness is the astral body, allows you to just look at the thoughts and be like, when you get really fucking good, you can be like, that's ego. Like you're like file cabinet, putting the fucking things, you know, organizing that shit. And then it's like, damn, nothing triggers me anymore. I'm happy right now. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Regardless
Yeah,
of
man.
regardless of the trials that the universe or God throws at you, you already know instantly, oh shit, I created this for myself, or it's just a trial that I have to go through to get to the next step or next phase of my life cycle to be better. That's it. It's simple. It's so fucking simple, bro. But as people, you know, as humans and society, we make shit complex.
Yes.
Nah, but science said this, fucking, you know, he said this and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you have all the answers within you, man. You already know. But we're so doubtful of our abilities and our value and our, this ain't even a word, but it's like enoughness. We disempower ourselves. And I've been doing that for the longest fucking time, bro. It's 27, turning 28 this year. And every 7 years, a major event happens in your life. And it's up to you to be aware of that. You can either take the same route, you can continue the same pattern, or you can practice being aware and be like, why do I get the same feeling every time something like this shit happens?
Yeah.
Why am I back in this same fucking situation? Am I going to change it? Am I going to grow some fucking balls and change it? And it's easy. It's not easy to change, but the reason that things reoccur in your life is because you either haven't healed it or you need a reminder. Shit, this is the path that I need to stay on.
Yes. Yeah. I look at it in that sense that where it's like we continue to go through this loop of suffering. And I say suffering because pain, and like I've said this to a couple of homies, you know, and it's like pain happens in its moment and it has a certain time. Suffering is continuous because there's something that we are continuing to bring pain upon us, therefore turning it into suffering. Right. And so with a lot of things, like dude, the last time I took shrooms, bro, like I really was like beside myself and was like, it really just reminded me of like, okay, I might be in pain with certain things that are happening in life right now. I might be struggling with certain things, but you know, if I learn, there's something to be learned in all of this. And if I can just learn it, I will no longer feel pain, and then therefore I will no longer suffer because the pain is causing the suffering, whatever. But I think, you know, I just feel like so many people these days just figure out ways to put band-aids on it. You know what I mean? And just band-aids. And that's what meditation for me has been like a actual remedy to these circling thoughts. Because I can step back, like you said, step back, be the observer, look at that little hamster on the wheel and just be like, okay, what's going on here? Like what's really happening? Why do I feel this way? Why do I keep feeling this way? Yeah.
It's important to know what triggers you. You know, it's so important, bro. And this is the thing, like the reason why I chose the word catalyst, bro, is so when I was moving to Melbourne, so much shit was coming to light, especially within my fam, the connections that I was making to things, the feelings that my family were going through because I was leaving. It's crazy that when I left, or, you know, in the process of leaving, people in my family were also healing, were also getting more in touch with themselves and being like, shit, he's helped. Like, not that it's about me, but I'm just going to say he's helped me so much. And now I have to fend for myself. I gave them strength by leaving and doing my own thing. you know? So as a creator, know that you have an effect on everything before you and everything that comes after that. So the catalyst is you all the time, every time. Quit blaming people for your shit. Whether you like it or not, you created it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, going back again, that's where the word catalyst came from, because I was the catalyst for change, for my own change, which allowed other people to change. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost just kind of recognizing the ripple effect of our choices. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
you know, sometimes us leaving a situation or making a certain decision allows people or grants them that permission to be great themselves or
Yep.
change in ways that they, you know, they're like, fuck, I gotta change. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
yeah, I see that. I see that 100%, man.
That is the most powerful thing. And that, to me, like this whole ideology that we're speaking of, is what the mainstream media and the elites, let's say, have wanted to take away from us and have taken away from us, is the knowing that we are creators, that we are electrical, that we can take control over our own shit and have that much more power, that we are divine, that we are connected to source, just like they are. But their source is, they work in the shadows all the time. They know what the fuck they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But when people wake up to the fact that they are more in control and don't believe propaganda and don't live from a fear-based frequency, life changes. There's a saying that damn, I forget it, but if you are holding space for more love and light, it actually affects way more people and affects the energy of, like, say for example, I live in an apartment building. It changes the frequency of the whole building. Because imagine, like, this ball is like all dense, dark energy, and then there's me, right? Light. And I can meditate and intentionally go, I'm going to Dragon Ball Z myself and charge my fucking key up to the point where I can light that whole space and change other people, change their frequency. And that's what Krump does, bro. Even if you go to a Krump session and you feel like shit, after you feel like dancing or seeing someone really get off, damn, I feel good right now. And that's a blessing, bro. You know what I mean? That is high vibrational shit. But we're so, like, locked into the idea of always being tight, or not necessarily even just being aware that that's what we're actually doing. We're changing the frequency of a room. And look at the wording. Like, eyes may not even know this. Look at the wording, though. Live. Live. Alive. And where is live? Up here. Where are higher frequencies? Where do we want to go? Bro, it's all connected. It's all interconnected. And I think people need to really recognize and be aware and be conscious that everything is connected, man. Everything. You know, like, I've said this before, but go back to the ancestors. They all said it. Everything's connected. I'm connected.
Yeah, I think,
you know,
there's a real weird, I think, you know, even with Krump, when I think of, like, you know, when I go to these sessions, this connection of, you know, okay, like, even my rookie year, you know, I had this cool little stint where I was popular, you know what I mean? And it was like, you know, I really, I just kind of, I didn't see it mostly because I look at a session like you guys are giving me permission to be good right now. Like you guys are granting me this moment right now because I could just be dancing out here by myself.
Mm.
And I already think I think I'm good, but you being here encouraging me, you know, you guys are, you know, giving me tips. So you actually give a fuck, like because you're taking 2 seconds out of your day, you know, like because you're
Yeah,
taking two
yeah,
seconds out of
yeah,
your day to tell me, like, hey kid, work on this. Like, so that means that there's something there. So
yeah,
you are granting me this permission to be good. You're gracing me with your knowledge, your camaraderie in
yeah,
this moment. Like, so
yeah,
these things are happening. Like,
yeah.
you know, and there's a connection there, like, you know what I mean, like, and it's so weird because we're a bunch of grown-ass men and women and, like, you know, some kids, you know, from time to time, like, but there's a really like there's like a really child like behavior going on, like it's like,
Yeah, man.
you know, kids, you put them out at a playground and they just get along, like, you know what I mean, like you have some trouble from time to time, whatever, that's normal, but for the
Yeah.
most part they get along, you know, they play lava and all this shit, and so it's like we
Mhm.
become adults and we find this catalyst, right, this dance, or whether people are musicians or this or that, like, you know,
Yeah,
and there's just that connection of there's something going on here, like, you know what I mean, like there's a spiritual bond and understanding going on here, which makes us behave these ways.
yeah, man. And like something that's gonna be, I wish, like, I can't wait until the day that I can do this and give people like the space, face to face, and share that energy in that way. But like this thought, so two things. I recently did a lab session with, it was only 3 people, but I labbed them in a way where they had to, it was sort of to do, somewhat to do with language and the story that, oh, what did I say? I said, okay, think about one thing that has like pissed you off or frustrated you throughout the week, right? And I said, lab on that feeling. Know what that feeling is and try and tell me what that is. Right? So they did that. I was like, introduce it. Show me how it feels just by using your bounce. Create a story around that. And now that you've created that story, if you haven't released it, you need to bang the fuck out so that you can release it. Right? And then,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so they all labbed on their separate, like they did their thing separately. And then we all came together. And I was like, okay, let's session with the intention of transmuting and transforming that negative story in your head into an actual release so that you can heal yourself.
Mm.
And the session was crazy.
Mm.
Like, bro, just imagine going into a session with the intention of actually healing yourself, actually getting rid of a thought and healing that thought or that pattern. It's next level, bro. I can see in your,
Yeah.
even you thinking about it, you're like, fuck, bro.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that shit's crazy.
It's
That shit's
crazy,
super
man.
crazy.
It's crazy. Even just thinking about like setting the intention of, all right, and bro, I'm just thinking about this, doing this with the camp, dude. Oh, it would be crazy. But like, just imagine like everyone, like, for example, closing their eyes, right? Connecting to the energy and everything that we are around us, and knowing that we have guides. I know I've got 2 like wicked ass dudes behind me, like guides, right? They're always with me. Just imagine how much liver the session would be, because we know we can tap into an energy that isn't just this physical self.
Mm.
Power beyond power. And then, you know, going back to even what, like the Krump dictionary, there was a thing that was called the spirit realm, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah, I just feel like the spirit took over me.
Yeah.
When we black out, that's what happens. We connect to something that's bigger than ourselves, and that needs to be tapped more.
There's got to be something bigger, because there's been some people to do some pretty crazy shit, like when they're just getting off.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's when you get the yo, like,
Yeah.
yo, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
yo, baby, you need to chill. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just think it's to kind of have that blinder put on between you and thinking like, yo, what I do right now might, you know, potentially hurt my leg. I might potentially get injured, but there's just this blinder happening right now where it's like, I'm just about to go. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump off this car, or I'm gonna do this knee drop, or I'm about to slide across this floor, you know, whatever it is. Yeah, and it is something that, like, that it's dope to see that you're trying to tap into that on a teaching level, because that's huge, man. That's hella huge.
Yeah. And you know, that's basically, that's, to me, it's like when we black out or whatever, or get off, like while out, to me, that is what flow state is. Because it's not necessarily that we're focused, it's that we're free. It's that we're loose. You know? Because when you while out and all of that shit, you're not caring about how technical you are. You just feel live as hell.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we all want to get to as a Krump dancer. And I feel like every dancer wants the same thing for themselves as well. But I think for me, because Krump is such a tribal orientated dance, that you can tap into a different realm. You know? And that is
because it's so tribal. It's tribal sense can really get you there.
Yeah, 100%. Just go, you know, go watch Rise again. The difference, you know? And every tribe had dancers.
Yeah.
They all came around, danced around the campfire. Happy, sad, funeral, birth, whatever. We do the same thing. But just imagine being as intuitive and connected to Source and Mother Nature, which is a part of Source anyway, and being able to tap into that field to really change the frequency, like a mass meditation. Bruh. Insane.
Yeah, man.
Insane.
Hey, are you able to see the Facebook comments on your side?
No, I can't. There's Facebook comments?
Yeah, well, I seen that Sherwin has been commenting on here. This fucking bastard dude blew it up, but shout out Sherwin, man. He's listening to us right now on the
Oh no,
Facebook
I can. I see the live comments.
He's like, can I get a hello camp? What up, camp? Beast camp worldwide.
Hello camp. Damn.
Man. Much love to my dude Beast, man. He's a fucking trip, bro. Striker, street beast.
Yeah, everything.
All right, man. So I think this is a good note for us to end it on. Is there anything, last shout outs or whatever you want to do before we call it a wrap?
Damn. I just want to shout you out, bro, for giving me the platform and show me the love, respect, to get me back on here to speak more about, I guess, how can I say, what the light is, and what the spirit is, and how to connect to it. And yeah, man, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you a lot. I think I need to do the interviewing after, because I got a thing called Speak Your Truth as well. So I want to hear your story because I don't know it, and I have hella questions.
Fuck yeah, dude. We'll do that, man. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
nothing, bro. I really, dude, like you're really a really dope person, man. And you know, we're fam,
Yeah,
everything. So it's like, you know, we'll give it a couple weeks if anything, dude, and then we'll
yeah,
fucking bring you back on, man. Let you talk about your company a little bit more. Yeah, get that
yeah,
program
yeah,
running, see if it's gonna be 8 or 10 weeks. Let's go.
yeah. Yo, mad respect, bro. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to Older Camp, man. Inspiring, changing people for the better. That's why we're the best. Always thinking ahead of the game. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody that's been watching as well. I hope that this has been a light-filled conversation and has allowed you to appreciate more of who you are and what you can offer to everyone, to the world in your own way.
Hell
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
man. Let's fucking go. That's the smoking section, you guys. Hey, Ian, I'll send you a message right now, bro.
All right, peace. Count.
Later.